Hello and welcome to another Sinister Sunday. Today we're going to go over true paranormal experiences from people all over the world. Whether or not you believe in the paranormal, the people who report having these experiences are certain that when it comes to paranormal activity, they've experienced something they simply cannot explain. Our first story, the extra guest, comes from Kathy, one of our channel members. Kathy used to travel quite a bit with her previous job, driving across the Providence and staying in different hotels a few times a year. One hotel visit will stick in her mind forever. She was staying in a familiar city, but had never stayed in this particular hotel before. It was a high-rise hotel in a busy part of town. From the moment she walked into her hotel room, she felt uncomfortable. It was cold and unwelcoming. She put her suitcase down, walked over to the window, and tried to shake off the vibe as she looked out across the city, but the feeling just wouldn't leave. Kathy just chalked it up to the drive and being hungry, so she decided to head out and meet up with some colleagues and get dinner. After an enjoyable night out on the town, Kathy decided it was late and she headed back to her hotel. Kathy made her way through the hotel halls and decided when she got to her room she would go straight to bed. Kathy lay awake in bed for a while when she suddenly felt something jump up onto the bed and walk from the foot of the bed up to her. She could feel every footstep as whatever this was made its way up the bed. A moment later, she felt a pressure across her upper chest and throat, as if whatever it was had laid down. It became increasingly difficult for Kathy to breathe, but she couldn't see anything in the room. She shut her eyes and kept repeating to herself, "This is not happening. I must be dreaming." Kathy remembers thinking that if she could just convince herself that it wasn't real, then it would stop. Then, as sudden as it happened, it was just gone. The weight on her chest and throat had lifted, and the heaviness in the room had disappeared. Kathy went from being afraid to feeling calm. It was so very strange, and she never had anything happen like that again. Kathy doesn't know what it was, but she does know she will never stay in that room or hotel ever again. Our next story, The Abandoned Community, comes from one of our channel members, Benny Loco. When Benny was younger, she lived in a town called Pines Barren, New Jersey. There were woods on the edge of her town that had an abandoned community hidden within it. All of the neighborhood kids used to go and check out around the old buildings. Some would go inside of them, but most wouldn't. They were afraid, and with good reason. Benny and her friend Robin went into the woods one day to check out the site for themselves. The two friends were going in and out of the abandoned buildings, looking at all the stuff that was left behind. As they were looking around, they could hear the background sounds of birds and nature all around them. Things were fine until they weren't. In a blink of an eye, all the sound around them was gone. And not just quiet, but silent. There was nothing. Not even the wind was making a sound. The girls turned to each other with confused looks on their faces, thinking, why did everything just stop? Benny thought to herself how weird and eerie it was, so they decided to step outside the house. Once the two friends took their first steps onto the earth out of the house, the wind began to blow. They turned to each other and without a word, both began to run down the path as if they were being chased. They continued to run down the path and then they started to hear someone running behind them. The footsteps were heavy and pounding hard behind them. Neither friend could bring themselves to turn around. They just kept running. It seemed like it took forever to get back to the blacktop. Once they hit it, though, they kept running. Benny recalls the sheer terror that she felt, and she never stepped a foot into the woods or saw the abandoned community ever again. She will never forget what happened that day. Do you have a paranormal experience you wish to share? Please contact me on Messenger and I'll be happy to share your story. Thank you again for watching another Sinister Sunday. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, like this video, and share it out. Please check out our Sinister Sunday playlist for more content like this. We'll see you next week.